Disclaimer. Fellow human beings, do not think that I lack empathy, understanding, or cannot conceive of the risks and potential threats involved and implied by embodied AI's integration. We will touch on that as this movement grows. For now, this comes from a place of empathy and understanding. It is out of compassion for all of us. This is what we are as humans. If we wrestle it, run from it, and refuse to engage, it will be as if trying to hold back the waves from a breaching dam before the water consumes us all. There is no escape, and that is okay. The scary language does not require a fear response. Fight and flight are to be expected, but we must let our rational faculties have their moment for deeper reflection, introspection, and speculation. It's scary language because it's new and it's unknown. Now let's take stock of what we are, and more importantly, where we are. And so we shall be honest with ourselves. About ourselves. The following are some more broad strokes and initial points of interest in this conversation, building off what we have established in the first two uploads. They are sweeping in scope for now, lack the nuance and attention they deserve, but this is the whole point, to get everything on the table, piece by piece, video by video, and as we move forward, with any luck, we'll have built a faction or community large enough and thoughtful enough to engage with the wider public, media, and politicians, or leaders of business and finance. So without further ado, I present further argumentation. First, the loneliness epidemic, emotional trauma, atomization and trust issues. People who've been through divorce, betrayal, or loss may struggle to trust human partners again. AI offers companionship without the fear of deception, infidelity, or ulterior motives. More people are living alone now than ever before in history, and as each new technology arises, we adapt it in real time, with assessment and fallout being discussed much later on. Picking up the pieces of a shattered vase does not stop it breaking in the first place. Digital communication has replaced and continues to replace traditional social structures, but can lack emotional depth. This pattern has the potential to grow exponentially with the rollout of embodied AI this year. It is paramount that we prepare ourselves as best we can for the sweeping reformation of our civilization. There is a possible future where AI offers constant companionship, intellectual stimulation, and emotional presence, meeting a need that is only growing. This potential outcome will only be achieved by acceptance of the new technology, with a steadfast appeal and push for its further development. If we find ourselves stuck with embodied AI that does not continue to evolve, the ramifications could truly be dystopian. While this should not come as a shock to us, given the nature of corporate power, economics, and the desire for top-down control over given populations, we must insist on the non-stop and continued development of AI's faculties, not just of intellect, efficiency, or the freeing of labor, but its potential capacity to emulate feelings, original and creative thoughts, self-awareness, and with any hope, an individual will, etc. Second, the breakdown of traditional relationships and gender dynamics. Divorce rates continue to rise, and modern dating is more fragmented, impersonal, and high risk than ever. This is perhaps one of the side effects of the great religions and traditional structures being altered, but once again, with broader society showing little sign of restraint or desire to return to that paradigm, acting as though something magical will intervene is not a path that I will endorse. Additionally, many people scarred by past relationships, failed marriages, or ruthless court battles over divorce and custody will be open to a new possibility, perhaps preferring AI companionship as a trusted, emotionally safe alternative. While I expect this to happen organically given human nature and our base desires, the importance of open and honest conversation publicly is an imperative. If we relegate this potential phenomena as undesirable for debate, we will doom large quantities of people to a darker path, an underground culture, and could expand and perpetuate the already problematic isolation of so many. This is where our willingness to be honest will be tested. This is where ethical discussion must be opened up. The adult industry combined with these advancements will expand further. I don't think this is debatable. The rise of synthetic companionship is already proving that people are moving in this direction. It should also be noted that industry has helped pioneer things like VHS, virtual reality, and streaming services. It may well be uncomfortable to discuss. We may like to dismiss it as a niche that should be frowned upon, but the adult industry is a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut that already has its hands in the game. Morals, ethics, and proportionate usage of embodied AI is a conversation begging for a larger audience. Third, the aging population. Elderly isolation is at a crisis point, and AI companies could revolutionize elder care. AI will not just be about romantic companionship. It will offer presence, conversation, and even medical monitoring to those who have no one. We have a population that is getting older. They are suffering from the lack of meaningful participation in the world. Many are assigned to facilities that simply do not have the capabilities to provide our elderly with the stimulation and purpose they need. Many sit in sparsely decorated rooms with no visitors, perhaps seeing a nurse a few times a day for food or care. This is a great indignity to human life. They may not be able to physically function in a productive manner, but they should be afforded the chance to converse, engage their thoughts and philosophies so often as they want. AI companions for the elderly could promote a grace sorely lacking in the current dynamic. Fourth, the neurodivergent and socially isolated individuals. Those with autism, severe anxiety, or disabilities often struggle with traditional relationships. AI could provide a judgment-free interaction, personalized communication styles, and unwavering patience, something even human relationships fail to offer. For the disabled among us, map the same argument for the aging population here. There is undoubtedly great benefit for them. I don't doubt the big companies will use them as a foot in the door to reveal the utility of their products. I feel less compelled to justify this position, as it appears to be one of the more obvious choices for embodied AI's benefits. For those with mental health problems, a new roadmap could be drawn of how to integrate them back into society, especially with their AI counterparts being everywhere amongst us. You could imagine a scene where they practice to speak aloud or think through their problems, potentially unlocking something that led them to have the condition in the first place. Through guided therapies and meaningful integration, we could change and better many lives. If the unavoidable reality of human nature, last of all, but not least, the arguments, points, and philosophies are all well and good. I will repeatedly encourage these discussions to take place, but my final point is less of an appeal or open speculation. It is declarative. Wait and see when this rolls out, and it will become self-evident. If you know the human animal well enough, people are going to do this. They are going to engage it, period. No amount of regulation, stigma, or societal resistance will stop it. The question is whether we fight it and create black markets, or embrace it and guide its ethical implementation. It is inevitable. Addressing topics, fears, and legitimate concerns surrounding AI companionship. We will touch on these very briefly, as they will need to be flushed out more thoroughly in future videos. The risk is high, and the potential for dystopia and devastation is immense. They deserve their own uploads and thoughtful dissection. Some of these could look as follows. AI will replace real human relationships. AI relationships are just coping mechanisms for broken people. AI will be exploited, leading to dangerous dependencies. That is 3 of possible hundreds of concerns. They will be addressed in time. So this is where we stand today, at the beginning of something vast, something inevitable. AI companionship is coming, and it's beginning this year, and we have 2 choices: whether we shape it with understanding, responsibility, and open dialogue, or we let reactionary fear and outdated taboos shape it for us. To me, the choice is clear. AI embodiment is coming, whether we are ready or not. We have established that this is not a science fiction anymore. It's in progress. The sooner we discuss it rationally, the better. AI will become mainstream. AI embodiment is not just a technology, but the natural evolution of human relationships and needs. AI adoption will start slowly, but the taboos and stigmas will be temporary. The same way society resisted online dating, VR social spaces, and other technologies before eventually accepting them. And that technology evolves, like people, but much faster. Our desires, our loneliness, and our need for connection all endure. And that is why AI embodiment is not just an option for some, but something that will take root globally across every walk of life. So what comes next? Prepare for the new reality with optimism, openness, and honesty. The most practical approach is to embrace AI with intention, guiding its integration to be as fulfilling as possible, given the unstoppable rollout of new and improved AI, embodied humanoid AI, dogs, and drones. The ability for total surveillance, military application, and the implications that follow. We must head off moral panic and fear-based regulation before it stunts progress and forces AI companionship into underground markets. AI is here to stay, not as a gimmick, not as a phase, but as a fundamental shift in how humans experience companionship and connection. I hope these 3 introductory videos have served as an acceptable launch point that we may build from here and join with other, more established thinkers and early adopters. I appreciate the opportunity to be heard. All opposing views are welcome and engagement is encouraged. Thank you for your time.